Hey, welcome to Fitzdog Radio on the lake. Yeah, baby. It's anniversary weekend. Not even weekend. Well, we came up here on a Sunday morning, and we're leaving now. It's Tuesday. We're going to leave tonight. And had a lovely time. Oh, look at this lake that we're staying on. If you can see it. It's a beautiful Lake Arrowhead here in California. Our friend Annie lent us her house, and it's a beautiful cabin. It's got this deck with a breeze blowing in from the lake, and chipmunks and hawks coming down and getting the chipmunks. Little lunch, squirrels. I imagine there's snakes. There's a mouse in the house. And Annie, who owns the house, told us the mouse is named Tanya. Here's the thing. If you have rodents, don't name them. Just get some traps. There you go. She's actually very cute. I like mice. And she keeps popping up. She was on the table last night, and then she climbed up the bricks of the chimney and scooted around the floor. That's the thing about mice. You think of them as things on the floor. No, they are on every surface imaginable. They can get 10 feet in the air. Mice are ingenious, agile creatures. This one has little pointy ears. He's a little field mouse. Anyway, we had such a nice time. The lake is just down the hill. We cut through the neighbor's yard and down there, and there's a dock and some lawn chairs, and I got my little portable speaker. We're listening to some Nat King Cole. That was our wedding song, Unforgettable. I got the perfect wife. I don't know how else to say it. She's amazing. I still feel romantic with her. I still feel giddy. I physically attracted to her. I think she's just got the soul of a saint. She's generous. She's empathetic. She's a great mother. She's a generous laugher. She's beautiful. It's our 23rd anniversary, and I can honestly say, and I don't want to rub this in. A lot of you guys are divorced and girls, and I'm sorry it didn't work out. I really am. I wish everybody could have the same experience I have with marriage. But I have never thought once about breaking up. Like, I never had that fantasy. Like, every girlfriend I ever had, I was always grappling with whether to break up. It was like I spent so much energy wondering if I should still be in this relationship. And with her, that energy, none of that is wasted. We slow danced last night, took some mushrooms, sat on the porch, listened to Ricky Lee Jones. Oh, so nice. And we just read novels and dove in the lake, went on a couple hikes, reading a great book called A Gentleman in Moscow that she just finished, that she turned me on to. Great book. Doing the New York Times crossword puzzles on her phone. Power went out the other day. That was fine. It kind of made it more rustic. It was good. And then we're heading back tonight. I'm very sad we're going back. I wish we could spend like 3 more days. What else? Back in L.A., what's been happening? Doing a lot of stand-up, gearing up for this road work I got coming up. Doing a lot of spots in town. Did 5 shows Saturday night, the night before we left. And the first one was really early. It was at like 7:15, and my next show wasn't until 9. And so I went to Mel's Diner on Sunset. Here's the thing about Mel's Diner. You see it and you go, hey, that's a real diner. I want that Midwestern diner experience. Or in New York City. And so you go in and I get a chair right on this. I always sit right on Sunset. They have tables and chairs on the sidewalk. Great people watching. And there's this table next to me that's Swedish people. And Swedes... I always envision Swedes as like blonde hair, blue eyed, Aryan kind of. Now they dye their hair. They're really into tattoos, and they've gotten kind of nasty. I'm not a fan of the Swedes anymore. As a race, if I'm going to be racist, nobody's going to give me any pushback on hating the Swedes because they're the whitest people in the world, and you're allowed to hate them. So, anyway, so the woman gets a cheeseburger, and her English isn't good, and she's trying to send it back, and the waitress, who's a classic old diner waitress, kind of like won't take it back and said there's nothing wrong with the burger. And I'm with the waitress on this one. I'm thinking this Swedish chick has bulimia or she's just a pain in the ass. And so she just refuses to eat the cheeseburger. They pay their check and they head out. And then a couple minutes after they leave, the bus person has not bussed the table yet. And this homeless dude comes by, and he's dressed like Jimi Hendrix. He's got like a silk handkerchief on his head, and he's got a flowing robe, and he's got some funky high-heeled shoes. And he goes over and he looks both ways, sees the cheeseburger, grabs it, and like scuttles off up a little bit. And I watch him, and then he takes a big bite of the cheeseburger. And then he throws it in the shrubs. The fucking homeless guy rejected it. Swedish girl was right. It was a shit cheeseburger. So, which made me really question my standards because I had just finished my cheeseburger. I thought it was fine. But I'm Irish. I'm so easy with food. I'll eat anything. So anyway, doing a bunch of shows. Should I give my dates now? Yeah, come on out. I'll be at, I'm doing some dates with Louis C.K. in Canada this coming weekend. I'll be in Vancouver this weekend and then Ottawa next week. Go to his website for dates. And then Gunkwit, Maine, August 11th, Jonathan's. And then Manchester, New Hampshire at Chunky's Cinema Pub, August 12th and 13th. Then I'll be in Lowell, Arkansas, September 16 and 17 at the Grove. Then New Orleans, then Lafayette, Louisiana. Chicago, October 15th at the Den Theater. Tampa Bay at Side Splitters, November 17 through 19, and Plano, Texas after that. So go to Fitzdog.com for tickets. Let's do some overheards. These are things, just in case you're new to the show, sometimes you overhear things like I did at Mel's. I want you to report it to me. Things that made you laugh. Maybe you were alone, you chuckled, jot it down on your pad and your phone, and then email it to fitsdogradio@gmail.com. Love to hear your overheards. This one is 2 10-year-olds at the ice cream shop in Devereaux Beach in Marblehead, Mass. I've been to Marblehead. North Shore, dude. Number 1 says, is this a nickel or a dime? Number 2, kid says, I have no idea. Isn't that amazing? When I was a kid, that's all I did know. That's all I did know was coins. I knew Buffalo Heads. I knew the difference between the bicentennial quarter that came out in 1976, the $2 bill. We were all about the currency. Now these kids, they Venmo. Unbelievable. By the way, I can scream at this lake house because we literally have no neighbors. It's like a fucking dream. It's like a house in the woods on a lake. It's a cabin. Anyway. Also, 3 good-looking 20-year-old women sitting at a vineyard in the Catskills sampling the local wines. Well, I feel very bad, by the way. Normally, I have the names of the people that send these in, and I did not copy the name. So whoever this is, I apologize. But they're living a good life. They're in Marblehead, Mass. at an ice cream shop, and then they're at a vineyard in the Catskills. Number 1 says, so he said he will let you stay in his city apartment and give you $4,000 a month if you can see him at night 3 times a week. Number 2 says, yes. Number 1 says, and no sex. Number 2 says, that's what he said. Number 1, sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a good deal. Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. If you buy it Do you really buy it? Do you really think that this kind of setup is not going to lead to sex? I mean, how long do you think it's really going to last? 3 nights a week? 3 nights a week. And he's paying for the apartment. Come on. I got a rich friend in L.A. who's in the construction world, and he's friends with a lot of guys that are like, you know, they're worth like $50 million, $100 million. And he tells me this is a real thing. He knows guys that pay women's rent in New York City so that when they're there, they go out with them. And that's the deal. It's just very strange. But you know what? Is it legal? It's a hazy line.
If you took this to court, would you call that prostitution? Or would you just call that an arrangement? I don't know. I think prostitution should be legalized, says the married guy. This one comes from Dave in Walnut Creek.
Sitting outside a coffee shop and a guy walks out. He's on the phone and all I hear is, quote, "So you know it's a French comedy." That's a big asterisk. Or I thought look, the French, they get a bad reputation because they like Jerry Lewis. But you know what? Jerry Lewis used to be fucking funny as shit when he was a young guy. He was the biggest comedian in the country. He used to do shows.
Here's how it worked. Back in the 1940s and 50s, you would go to a movie theater in Times Square, and they would have like the Ziegfeld, and they would have like 7 movies a day, and each one would feature a comedian performing before the movie came on. And these theaters had like 7,000 people in them. And Jerry Lewis was the guy. He was the guy. And back then they paid him like $100,000 a year, which was crazy money for back then. Anyway, so the French also had Jacques Tati, if you ever see his films from like the 1930s, were very funny. And there's a TV series I think it's called Call My Agent.
That is in French, and it's a sitcom. And you know what? Even reading subtitles, it's still funny as shit. So check it out. Anyway, last one from Adam Bean. Players were chatting in the game as I went running by through the game. I don't know what the game was. Overread in the chat scroll feed, ALOLA Karen. Quote, "I don't know. I'd go so far as to say my mom's cute." Well, this just came up on Sunday papers. My mom
was very cute. She's 80 years old now, still adorable. And I just had a new boyfriend this past year, but then they broke up. But she was a beauty crown winner. She won the Rose of Tralee pageant in the Bronx
in like 1958. And I saw pictures, and she was stunning. So, yeah, my mom was cute. And my daughter looks just like her. So my daughter's cute. All right, let's move on from the creepy part of the show.
Let's talk about mental health. It's just like your car. You got to tune it up.
You got to change the wiper fluid. You got to check the tires. And it's the same thing with your mental health. BetterHelp.com is a way. It's online therapy that lets you talk in person, on the phone. You can do it online. That's the way I do it. I've been working with BetterHelp since the pandemic started. I've had amazing results. I got paired up with therapists based on a questionnaire I filled out. They knew what my needs were. If the person doesn't work out, you switch. Also, they hook you up within like 48 hours of when you sign up. It's cheaper than any therapy you've ever had, which is a huge selling point because therapy is very expensive. I've had amazing luck. I do CBT, which is a cognitive behavioral therapy, and it's about getting the thoughts in your brain that spin around to disengage from them and see what they really are about. Check it out. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers affordable. It's more affordable than I already talked about that. Anyway. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Fitzdog. That's betterhelp.com/Fitzdog. It's amazing. Check it out. Get involved. Here's another way you can feel good. You ever been caught fantasizing about arguments you haven't had yet? Maybe you're driving home from work. You're daydreaming about all the ways you're going to tell that Karen in the next cubicle that she's a disgusting pig for microwaving her day-old salmon. Huh? Guess what, friends? That's anxiety. So many people are wound up and carrying around all this anxiety without even realizing it.
Prolonged anxiety can lead to a ton of health problems.
Nobody wants that. Luckily, Certified Brands Group has us covered. The newest addition to their Zen Relief and Recovery lineup is finally here. The Zen Elevate Tincture. And by the way, Zen is X-E-N. Elevate contains 1,500 milligrams of CBD, 1,500 milligrams of CBG for a total of 3,000 milligrams of relaxation in every bottle. Like all the products, Elevate is THC-free, providing all the benefits of CBD without the high of THC. And guess what? Unlike a lot of other bullshit CBD products on the market, Zen actually works. They're so confident in their product that they have a special offer only for Fitzdog listeners. Go to tryzen.com, again, X-E-N, and use code Fitzdog for 50% off your first bottle of Elevate. That's tryzen.com. Use promo code Fitzdog at checkout for 50% off your order. Forget about Karen and her nasty salmon. Find your Zen. Okay, let's get to it. My guest today, Anne Frances Lederman. She is a good friend. She's a neighbor, a comic that I watch a lot at the Comedy Store. I have a lot of respect for. And guess what, folks? She's blowing up. Just in the last 2 years, she's like playing theaters, huge podcast that she's doing. We'll talk about it on the show. I'm proud and I'm happy for her. And you've seen her on, she's been on a lot of cable shows, Girl Code, Chelsea Lately, At Midnight, The Spade Show, Lights Out. Never had like a show on the air, never in a big movie. She's done little things, but she has blown up by virtue of her stand-up being so strong and her social media being strong, and it's great to see. Anyway, here's my chat with the awesome Annie Lederman. In studio today.
We're doing cameras now, huh?
We're doing cameras.
I'm glad I don't look like shit.
You look fucking good.
I look like a fucking hoe.
Holy shit. I've never had a chick this hot in my office with the door closed before.
When I go to do a married man's podcast, I say, dress up, whore.
And perfume, too.
Oh, yeah, I sprayed. Well, this is like I'm going out for the whole day.
Yeah?
You're my first stop.
Really?
Dentist next.
Dentist next. He's going to fuck up all that lipstick. It's already fucked up. Look at your
That's
bottom
part
lip.
of the look. Well, because we're not. But you know what I've learned with makeup? Because I don't want to get any work done or anything.
Right.
You can just change the shape of your face.
Let me clap.
And we'll see if we clap out.
Yeah.
Or if I leave abruptly. You piss me off.
Can you imagine?
I can't imagine on this earth. I want to explain the text message yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about our text message.
I did the age-old bait and switch on a very vulnerable, sweet text.
Yeah.
But Greg, I know that I'm not that type of person. So as I sent it, I knew to send right after JK, right?
I didn't see a JK.
The pullback was right after. Okay, wait, this is what happened. So I write Greg. We figure out we can get this timing right for the podcast. I go, you're one of my favorite people. And then right after that, I was writing shit. Sorry, wrong text. So it would go right together. So you'd see the joke right away.
So read the whole text thread.
So I wrote, you're one of my favorite people. And then you wrote, I know that and it means a lot to me, which actually isn't like a you too. So that it is kind of...
Isn't like a you too?
It wasn't like you as well. Not that I should be giving compliments to expect them back, but you just kind of like went, I know, I'm great. Thank you. And I wrote shit, sorry, wrong text, which is, you know, a move. And then you wrote, I knew you wouldn't stay with that beautiful, vulnerable feeling. And I said, save it for the pod. So I was driving up because I wanted to give you the joke right away with the other one, just like bop, bop. So you didn't embarrass yourself with like something sappy back, which you didn't. You really just accepted and shut down and gave nothing back to me. But I was going up, my friend lives in the hills in Burbank, which, do you know there's beautiful hills in Burbank? There's like gorgeous, beautiful houses up in the hills.
It's called Pasadena, I think.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I think Pasadena actually sounds better than Burbank.
Yeah.
But, so as I was going up, the service stops working on the drive up. So it didn't come until after you sent me the response. So then I was like...
Yeah. I thought me saying I know and it means a lot to me was a way of, like, I hate the ping pong compliments. You know, I think you're the greatest. I think you're the greatest. I think it's
no, you're great.
Yeah.
I like
Instead, I said I think it's actually saying more to say it means a lot to me.
Like you matter enough to me that compliment actually I'm actually taking it.
Yes. Like if somebody else had said, you know, I think you're the greatest, I'd just be like, hey, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck you,
pussy.
Scum.
Yeah. But
you would have said maybe a different word.
But no, you're a very good person who has such a fucking prickly exterior.
Oh, it's so sweet inside though, isn't it?
It really is.
It is. I know, I'm like an uni. You know, they're like all like spiked.
Yeah, right.
And then it's like looks like a yellow tongue for some reason. Don't they look like tongues? What the fuck?
Aren't you from Massachusetts?
No, I'm from Philadelphia. My brother lives in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
My brother
that's
lives
a
in
very
Wilmington.
Massachusetts thing to have that personality.
Well, yeah, it's just a roasty family.
Yeah. Everybody roasted.
Yeah. And my parents were, my dad would always say, when we were little, people would be like, oh my God, your children are gorgeous. They go, wait till the noses grow in. Like there was always like a little...
Well, I guess it's not just Boston, it's just East Coast in general. But
Maxie moved to Boston. My brother's he's won several Emmys now. He's like a sports broadcasting.
You can't
NBC
even
Sports.
say broadcasting.
Well, I say it, and then he's on TV sometimes, but I don't want to make it sound like he's like the guy all the time. But he's like a producer, and sometimes he's on camera.
Really?
Yeah.
For what? Nesson?
No, he used to work at Nesson. He works at NBC Sports.
Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Was he a sports fanatic growing up?
Always, yeah.
Can I get him on a Zoom call with my son?
100%.
You love my son.
I mean, here's what's so funny. He won't get on a Zoom call with me, but he will definitely get on a Zoom call with you. I have nothing to offer him except like horrible memories of being choked as a child. I was like Homer Simpsoning my brother at all times. He was like, whoa.
No, because my son now wants to get into, I want him to get into sports because he's a sports, I'm sure he was like your brother was growing up.
It's a dream job.
Right.
And then my older brother also wanted to get into sports. He did something like, he worked for the Phillies once, and I don't remember what he did. And he was the mascot for the Wings.
Really?
Yeah, but he's so uncoordinated that they fired him very fast. Because even, I remember there was like, they did a news segment on the Wings, and they were like, whoa, no rhythm on that guy. Like, it was like the dog or something. It was like a bulldog or something. I don't know what it was.
My friend was, he worked in the front office. He was a huge Rangers fan. We were Rangers fans growing up in New York. Yeah.
Sorry.
The Rangers.
Sorry, Max.
And,
do you love me?
And so they, you guys were Flyers fans growing up? Yeah.
Eric Lindros.
Oh, Eric Lindros, yeah.
I used to try to make eye contact. I was kind of boy crazy.
Really?
I was like a little kid, like, is he going to look at me? I like how he's no teeth.
What do you mean, like sitting in the stands? You try to make eye contact with him?
Yeah, I wanted to like have a connection. Not like sexual, but I was a kid, but
yeah.
I still was like, I don't know. But my dad worked at Penn, so in finance, he worked as the treasurer.
Oh, shit.
How did I end up living in a car? He didn't teach me finance. Like, Dad, you were a little busy at work not teaching me finance. I know
you're bad with money. We'll talk about that.
I'm good with money now.
Yeah.
Well, I have a different philosophy on money where you spend it, more comes in, spend.
Deepak Chopra.
Yes, I'm deep pocket Chopra is what they call me.
You know, I made a reference. I was talking to I did Leslie Jones's podcast yesterday.
Oh, wow.
She fucking makes me laugh.
She's great.
She is so great. And I mean, I really think that like podcasting is her vehicle because I think it most captures her being able to just rant and be free.
Yeah, and there's no comics waiting to go on mad at her.
Yeah, exactly. She talked about that. She said that the comics at the store are getting mad at her for dropping in, and it's
I feel that way. I don't really care when it's
As
Like
long
it's
as
annoying sometimes, but it's also like kind of like a rite of passage. Like they did that. They got
she
to that
earned
level.
it. If
Yes.
anybody earned it, she did 20 years at that fucking club.
Yeah.
And it's like
she was also blowing the light then, but
was she?
no, I'm just kidding.
But I mean, I don't think that she doesn't go up and do an hour. Like
Yeah.
it's one thing if like Martin Lawrence comes in and does an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Then that really fucks everything up. So anyway, it was funny though because there was certain comics that she was, and we'll talk about it off the air. She was ranting about certain comics complaining about her.
I feel like I know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
Popular podcast with 3 letters.
I feel that she has found her niche with this. Anyway, so she was. Why did I bring that up?
You were doing her podcast.
We were talking about Deepak Chopra, and I mentioned Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle.
Mm-hmm.
Come on,
Love that guy.
oh my God, changed my life.
I try to check up on that guy quite often.
Oh, I listened to his
Subscribe to his-
audiobook going to sleep
great.
in rotation.
I have so many fun things to share with you. I have a lot of good guys that I listen to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got good. My hypnotist is a woman. I got a lot of good people.
You sent me the performance hypnotism tape,
yeah.
which I love.
Yes, and then it only sent half, which is such a cock block.
Yeah.
That is actually such a funny prank.
Right.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Right,
I kind of wish I did.
Yeah.
It's like a really intense, awesome hypnosis and then just cuts off in the middle.
Yeah. I got blue balls. I was like spiritual blue balls. And I brought up Eckhart Tolle and she goes, I don't listen to that shit. I grew up in Compton. And I was like, yeah, you grew up there. You don't still live there.
You
allowed-
obviously kind of absorbed something from
Yes,
these people. You
right.
got out, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, I have a weird story with Leslie, and I've never talked to her about it, but I respect it and like it. It was funny.
Like what?
So I first got passed at the Comedy Store in like 2000. It was, I think, 2013. Might have been 2012, and I just was
Adam?
like, with Tommy.
Oh.
And so I was just like waiting to go up in the original room in the hallway, and I got passed right away. Like I came in and just got past the first audition because I know it doesn't happen for really anyone. But I didn't know the Comedy Store. This is like all the stuff I'm learning in hypnosis. It's all about like what you believe and what you think. I had no clue the Comedy Store was the Comedy Store. I had been doing comedy in New York. I just liked doing comedy so much. I was very like, I just wanted to get as funny as possible. I wasn't like thinking about what things to get, like I knew about Montreal and stuff like that.
Right.
Got that 2 years in.
Hey now.
Hi. But I just when I had opened for Marin and I was like, hey, can you get me up at the Comedy Store? He's like, oh, I'll get you on the open mic. I was like, okay. So I was just doing an open mic. Figured, of course, I'd get past. It's just a club. I did not know it was like a hard process.
Yeah.
So when I went up, I just did a regular confident set. There was no nerves. There was nothing like weighing on me. And then he just passed me.
Right.
I had no clue it was a big deal until everyone hated me.
Oh,
I mean, everyone. I was like, why are you everyone mad at me?
Yeah.
And I came in to like park in the parking lot and they were like, you can't park here. And I was like, Tommy said I could.
Uh-huh.
Like, no, you can't. And then they come in and go out. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you were paid regular. I'm like, I am? Like, I don't even know what that is.
Uh-huh.
So it was like, I was very lucky because if I had known, I would have.
Yeah.
I didn't even step foot in the cellar.
Yeah.
Like, because I
So
knew
wait,
that was
so what
pressure.
happened with Leslie?
So I get there and I'm like, so I'm new and now I know it's a big deal. So now I'm like, all right, I don't want to bomb. And I'm like just standing waiting to go up. And she comes up and she's so much bigger than me. And I'm not small, but she is just a giant woman. And she's such a force, even if she was short, she would be giant, you know? So she like kind of like pins me to the wall, like not like physically, but just like with her energy, comes up into my face and she's like, I don't like you.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not a huge fan of me either. I was like a little low self-esteem at that point. I was like, oh, okay. I started laughing. I was like, all right. And she goes, we'll see. Or she goes, who are you? And I go, I'm Andy Lederman. I just got past him going up, waiting to go up. And she goes, we'll see when you go up there if you're any good. I'm like, I'm probably going to bomb now. There's a little pressure on me.
Yeah.
And she like leaned in and I was just like, sorry, I can only be myself. It was like so funny. I can't like match. I mean, I guess I can. I'm from Philadelphia. I can match that energy. But in that situation, I just was like so caught off guard. And it was so like funny to me to be like, I was like, oh. And then I saw her. She got SNL right after.
Wait, so did you bomb?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Okay.
That was the event of the night for me.
So there wasn't like some redemptive moment afterwards
Certainly
where you
not.
walked off stage.
I don't redeem myself fast like that usually.
You're a slow redeemer.
Well, back in the day, I used to get really nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't like when people watched me. Now I'm like, Come see it.
I remember one night at the store, it was in the back row. You went on, and it's always a compliment when you go on and people sit in that back row in the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And you sat down and like every seat was filled up, and it was Rogan, and it was like Segura, and it was Bert. And I remember you went up and I was like, oh, this is going to fuck her up so much. And you just went up and you were just silly. You like made fun of the fact that everybody was sitting there watching you. And I was like, that's when I knew like your confidence went to another level like 2 years ago.
The pandemic was good for me.
That's kind of what it was. It was like right before the pandemic, you started to kind of like, I don't know. You see it with a lot of comics, and good things happen once that self-acceptance happens, and that I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. People always thought I didn't give. People would come up to me when I could have had the most pressure-filled set in the world. People it would be not usually a comic. It would be usually like an audience member would be like, I love how you don't give a fuck. I'm like, I care so much.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't see me falling apart up there.
Right.
But yeah, I think it really just came down to what changed it? I don't know. The pandemic. It was right before the pandemic I started to get like the accolades.
Yeah.
Which you don't want that to be the reason you start to feel good about yourself, because that could go at any point. That's like outward.
Yeah, but
it does feel good.
It's also like we're in a profession where if you were in sales, you would become a sales associate, then you would become a sales manager, then you would become a junior executive. Like there would be titles on your door and in the fucking call list, and you would know where you stood.
Yeah.
In stand-up, Joe Rogan is the same as fucking Josh, who turns bar and then goes out and does a set. They're both comedians. There's no status beyond that.
His name is Das Martin. He's a speech impediment. Which is the greatest of all comedy.
Oh, it is so
Is
sweet.
there nothing better than...
Yeah.
I have this like mouth guard, and when I have to wear it, I have a lisp. And I was talking, do you know John Sosis, who does like...
He
just
does
started
the
working
podcast.
there. I love that guy.
He's the greatest.
But he has a lisp, and I was complaining about my lisp to him, and then I just went, I'm so sorry. This is your whole life.
Oh.
And he's got big ears. Why does a lisp always come with big ears?
It does.
It's probably like palate placement. There's something like about your ears are weighing down the palate of your mouth. Because when I got the mouth guard in, the dentist who I have to go to after this,
Wait, what's the mouth guard for?
It's for my TMJ. So I have TMJ.
Is that grinding your teeth?
Yeah, I got it. I think that's where I got it from. But it's like it's a joint. Everyone has a TMJ. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce it, but it's something TM joint. Templar something with an M. And so I guess you call it TMJ, but it's TMJD, which is the disorder where the disc is like in your socket of your jaw gets like displaced.
Yeah.
And then it pops and it's just like off center. And then
is that from too many blowjobs?
From getting too many blowjobs, yeah.
Getting too many blowjobs.
I get very slack jaw when I'm getting sucked off. I'm a receiver, not a giver. Everyone thinks I'm a whore. Everyone tries to fuck me. I'm sorry.
Well, you kind of put that out there. You put the whore thing out there, and yet you're not a whore.
Not anymore. I mean, I drank. I was a drinker. I was a sexual trauma as a kid. So then you were oppressed by drinking a bunch, and then you don't have self-worth. So, and a lot of it was like didn't have the confidence to say no to people. Was always like wanting other people to feel, and then realized like, oh, when I say yes to people, I want to say no to. I'm like saying no to myself. But that wasn't. If I say yes to people that I want to say no to, I'm actually just saying no to myself. Okay. So I'm worrying about I don't want to hurt these people's feelings, but then I'm just completely hurting my own feelings.
Right.
But I didn't even like realize myself as a being until like the pandemic.
It's true. When did you meet the boyfriend? Right around that time?
Right before the pandemic. Yeah. Thank God. I would have had a very different experience. People that were single during the pandemic, thank you for surviving.
I know.
Wow. I'm glad you're still here.
I got a bunch of guys I play golf with on Friday mornings at Penmar, and they're all single. And I'm just looking at them like, during the pandemic, like, what else did you do this week except our weekly golf date? And they're like, nothing. Smoked pot and walked my dog.
I mean, and pot, I just had to quit smoking. Would you smoke weed?
A little bit.
Tiny bit, yeah. I had to quit because I can't smoke a tiny bit, and I end up getting as high as I possibly can every time I smoke.
And you should mention you're sober with alcohol.
I'm sober. Yeah, I'm sober with alcohol, but I do,
Yeah.
Like weed, hallucinogens, ketamine, stuff like that, the fun stuff. The things that help your brain.
But you take ketamine in a guided way.
I mean, I take it in a raver way. I take it where a drug dealer guides it into my purse. And I guide a couple $100 into hers. I don't have time to do that. You go through insurance and shit. I'm busy. You just had to make her do it in front of you. That's the fentanyl test. Do you do it first?
Yeah, exactly.
You're alive? Okay.
No, they got those fentanyl tests in Canada now. Like
It's
my friend was in Canada, is like he brought a bunch back. No, it's crazy. If you're going to snort or take any of that shit, test it.
Yeah, you kind of just can't do powders anymore.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. And also, we probably shouldn't be doing them anyway, right?
Not at this point. No,
Yeah.
although I think me and my wife are having our 23rd anniversry this weekend.
Snort a bunch of shit?
No, we're going to take some mushrooms. We're going up to
that's fun.
Lake Arrowhead.
Oh, that's
take
great.
some mushrooms and look at the water.
20th anniversary, does that feel like
23rd.
Oh, 23rd. Excuse me. There's a 23andMe joke. 23andMe joke. Does that mean I get to come? 23andMe? Okay. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
I try though.
Yeah.
I swing. Does it feel like it went by fast?
Yes, it does. I mean, in the sense that, like, I still feel like we're dating. I still feel romantic with her. Like, you know, I was out last night. Went to see Wheeler Walker Jr. last night.
Oh, cool.
And like, I left early, partly because I kind of wanted to come home and see her, you know, because I hadn't seen her all day.
Yeah.
Partly because the fucking volume, and I don't want to sound like an old man, but it was so fucking loud. And it's like, to the point where you go to see Wheeler Walker Jr. because you want to hear the lyrics, right?
Yeah.
You can't understand the lyrics because it's so fucking loud, and reverb and feedback, and it was kind of stupid. And I loved the concert. The concert was great. I mean, just the people that show up to it are a riot because they started chanting. I don't know how ironically country these people are because they dress country, you know, American flag shirts and all that kind of shit, and chicks and Daisy Dukes. Yeah, you're dressed like a country whore.
Up here is like city whore.
Yeah.
Down here is country whore. I mix it up.
And then they started chanting. What is that thing that the Republicans always chant about?
Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. They started chanting, "Let's go, Brandon." I was just like, are they fucking around? Because if they
Have
are,
you gotten that at
that's
shows?
genius.
I've gotten heckled with that.
No.
And it's so funny.
Really?
I love when people think they're against you and you can get them with you.
Yeah.
That is my favorite.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on.
Right.
I think everybody thought I was like a big Trumpster last night because I just was going, I was like, are we wearing masks again? Because I will vote for Trump. Like I was going crazy.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to make these two guys kiss in the front row. It was a little Trumpy.
Did they do it?
No.
Were they gay?
No, but they were like best friends and they had like best friend t-shirts on with their faces. I was like, just kiss already. They're like, our wives made them. I'm like, that's because your wives want to eat each other out. They sent you out here for your friend anniversary. It's like,
Was it their friendversary?
They had a friend anniversary. It was really cute.
Wow.
And it was 20 years. So you had been married 3 years when they became friends.
Dang.
Landon and Jason. Congratulations on your 20th anniversary.
Congratulations.
But it was the gayest way to be straight friends.
And who's your best friend?
My best friend, I have like a few like I have the guilt of, I don't want to say best friend, and then I alienate a few people, but I have my best friend from college is Tara. My best friend from right out of college is Abby Luck, who I have to go see later because I left my sunglasses at her house.
Abby Luck, good name.
Is that a great name? And Abby is this amazing artist. She's the one who I was at her house yesterday. And her husband owns Van Leeuwen Ice Cream. Have you had that?
No.
It's all over the place. You'll start seeing it now. You'll start seeing it now.
So she's got some money coming in.
Yeah, they got ice cream money, and she is an animator, so she knows how to make bank. But we used to make these things on YouTube. Abby and I get together and we have like the brain of a 14-year-old boy. Like we just make the stupidest like fart video. Like we just make the dumbest things. And we made this thing called Sausage Party before Seth Rogen, 5 years before Seth Rogen made Sausage Party.
Okay.
We had a thing on YouTube called Sausage Party we made scenes with hot dogs in them where I was like, Seth, you owe me money. I'm going to say it here. I'm going to say it loud. You owe me money.
He's got it.
But anyway, so we did this thing called Sausage Party Presents, and we would just remake scenes from movies, like trailers, like scene by scene, shot by shot, with hot dogs. Like we did Jurassic World.
I love it.
And we had like
stop motion animation.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was awesome. It was so fun. We did like the Magic Mike. We did a remake.
Oh, that's
we made
great.
like abs out of them. I had a vision. I woke up with a vision of how to make the abs. I like shaved the butt off the bottom and made this whole thing. We would just wake up with the stupidest, like it was just so fun.
Yeah.
I think when you make things stupider, it's like easier to focus on them because there's no pressure.
Right.
But we had like, when we did Jurassic World, we had dinosaur nuggets instead of dinosaurs. It was just fun to be so stupid.
Yeah.
And that's like the only things I could ever show my nieces that I've ever done in my life. Everything else is like squirting.
Right.
Which is, I'm evolving out of that.
And who's your best friend in the comedy world?
My best friend is Bonnie McFarlane.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And locally, Josh Potter.
Josh Potter.
Yeah.
Isn't he open for you on the road?
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
He can't come for like so many dates, and it's so not as fun when he's
Why
not
not?
there. He has like his own headlining gigs.
Oh, Josh.
I'm trying to tank his career so he opens for me.
Oh yeah, we talked about this the other night. Like I have
Erica.
I bring Erica on the road, and then she's like headlining now, so it's harder to get Erica
on the roads.
Erica on the roads.
Is that her? I mean, she's kind of got to take it.
She's gotten so fucking funny.
She is funny. She's smart.
Yeah.
She's good at structure too. She was husband.
Yeah.
And she has like the prairie. She's like cute. She has the like prairie home companion upbringing. You know.
You know what's so
She's
weird?
like folky.
She worked for at Garrison Keillor for years.
Wasn't her dad involved? Did she like grow up there?
She grew up in Massachusetts, and I
But
think
didn't she,
Prairie
like-
Hill Companion is in
Okay.
Minnesota.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I thought maybe it was like.
But I think her dad did connect her somehow to. I think he's a relative. He's like a distant relative.
Yeah, that's cool.
But he didn't molest her, and he's a molester.
Oh, really?
Apparently, yeah.
Wow,
he's a
Erica,
Chester the molester.
you need to pad that bra, bitch.
That's right. She wasn't bringing it.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I've been molested a lot.
How many times?
Oh, like, you know, spotty memories as a 4-year-old. This guy, Jack, that my mom worked with this guy, Jack.
Jack.
Off. I just remember being tickled into a closet, weird feelings and stuff. So I don't know that one for sure. And I tried to do a hypnosis about it, and I stopped it, and I was like, I don't need to know.
Yeah.
Let's just
sure.
release the feelings and poof.
Right.
Don't give a shit. And then I had teacher. I was the girl that took teacher to court in high school.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And
huge scandal.
Really?
3 years probation he got.
That's it? Mm-hmm. Was he removed from the schools?
Yes, for I don't know for how long, but I talked about it on Marin's podcast, and I didn't say his name because I still get sometimes scared I'm going to get like sued or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I just don't want to be like I forgive, get away.
Yeah, right.
I no longer want to be associated in that situation, but I did get hit up by people who kind of figured out who it was, and he had moved to. Maybe it was Massachusetts. I can't remember where he was. He moved somewhere, and then he was just starting to work because I went to a juvenile delinquent school, which is an
That's
easy
where
prey.
he molested you?
Yeah, because all the teachers were molesters there. I found out later. I thought I was special. I was
Yeah, oh God.
my story was just one of many. It was a small school too, so the kids that didn't get molested, it was like really like, oh.
Yeah, the Erica Roses. Yeah.
Yeah, but Erica's not ugly. The kids that didn't get molested in my school were hideous.
Yeah.
Ugh. Erica was cute. I don't know. It must have been her. Her voice is a little high pitched. Maybe that was annoying.
Maybe it was the relative thing. Maybe
maybe it
even
was. He's not
Garrison
into
has some
incest.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Want to keep it out of the blood. Doesn't want the rape babies to have weird eyes.
So how old were you when this happened?
I was 16, and then I did the court thing, and then. Oh, so after I talked about it on Marin, someone hit me up and was like, we figured out who he is. And he was just about to start like an art outreach thing with kids at risk, like at risk
No.
youth. Yep. He was about to start fucking molesting kids again.
Did someone drop a dime on him?
Yep. So they got him out of the program.
No shit.
I get you every time,
I
bitch.
love it. Good. Stopping the cycle.
Yeah.
You got to
fun.
stop the cycle.
It's fun. But it also was like, I don't have like, I used to feel really like, you have to like, get justice for these people. Once you got and you don't want anyone else to, but it's like so traumatizing. Like however people process it is fine, because after telling was when it got crazy. That's when people were so fucked up to me. I was like, nobody wants the truth. They lie and say they want you to tell the truth.
Right.
People want what's the easiest route to move forward in their lives.
Yeah.
So I don't regret doing it, but I definitely understand the heaviness of actually doing that and how annoying that was. So I never am like victim shame me about that. I had a moment where I was, but where I felt like I had to do it, but I didn't. I just chose to do it.
Did you sue for money? Did you get money?
No, my parents, it was all fucked up. My parents were like donating money to the school like 4 years ago. I found out. I was like, you guys know what happened to me? It was bad,
shit.
right? There's so much denial around it because it was so fucked up.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much like repressed guilt that there was just, it was just hard to deal with. But I do forgive my teacher. I forgive just to like release him from my life because I don't want to be like dragging this white guy with dreads. That was the worst part.
Oh no!
I know. And my parents were so liberal and wanted to be like so like understanding and kind to people that other people judged harshly.
Yeah.
So they're like, take our daughter. We trust you. And it's like no one else does for a reason.
Oh god.
But I can understand where my parents were coming from. I totally forgive them. We have a great relationship. They really let me get mad at them for a couple of years and scream at them.
Yeah.
And really go through that. So
that's good.
Yeah, I feel really
How
lucky.
long did it take you to trust men after that?
A while. I think probably, because I had some crazy boyfriends. I chose like, so you kind of like repeat situation. So I chose really like my friend, Dan St. Germain. I don't know if you know, he's so funny. He made such a good point. He's like, you always go like, you date someone that's like really like passive and like almost too nice, and then you date like a mean monster, and then you do like go back and forth. And I was like, oh, I'm going like mom, dad, mom, dad, mom, dad.
Oh, interesting. And you're in mom mode right now. Your boyfriend.
My boyfriend is my mom.
Yeah.
Kind of. But we're gonna get married. I love him. We picked out rings.
You've been saying that
we
for
have like
so long.
Well,
I'm afraid you're gonna scare him away.
No. He's in. We have embryos together, frozen.
Oh, you do?
We have frozen starter children.
No shit.
Yeah.
He's a baby though, isn't he?
He's 28. Yeah.
How old are you?
39.
30. Are you 39?
Yeah, I just turned 39.
Shut the fuck up.
I know. I
thought you were like
very immature.
I thought you were like 30, I thought you were like 32, 31.
Yeah. Because I act crazy.
No, you look good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because I don't drink. And my mom actually always looks young too. She's always looked really young. My mom's 71 now, and she looks.
Yeah, except when you're 57 and he's
sometimes you will catch me just start slowly weeping.
Yeah.
And it is about that. It's gonna look weird. And he's
women
Asian.
age.
He's Asian.
It gets to a certain age, and women just age much faster than men.
Yeah, and if you,
I shouldn't talk because I aged like a motherfucker when I turned 50.
Well, the hat keeps you young. You look like it's like a 4-year-old's hat.
Yeah.
It's like a toddler's hat on.
You know why I wear it? Because my dermatologist said I got to cover my ears.
Yeah, you don't want to have to get chunks of your ears taken out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know, we're whiteies.
Yeah.
I should wear like full body sunscreen. I put it on my face just because a dermatologist got me once.
Do you go to the beach?
No.
You live in Venice and you don't go to the beach?
I'm like growing into a person that can appreciate the beach, but it's a lot of tactile issues.
You don't like the feel of the sand?
The sand,
it's windy.
It's a lot of like, also, let's be real. I don't really like concerts either. I don't like situations where I'm not talking.
Oh, interesting.
And this ocean kind of is more important than me. I can't deny it. I can't deny it. I can't deny it.
This is my favorite New Yorker cartoon of all time. It's a guy.
Yes, that is.
It's a guy standing on the beach and he's got a cell phone up to his ear and read it.
He said, "I'm sorry, I can barely hear you with this goddamn ocean behind me." Listen, there's an ocean in my head too. I'm trying to get some shit out of it. All right, there's some boots and some things that could kill some fish in here. I'm trying to release.
I'll tell you, being at that concert last night, like I've never had good hearing when there's a lot of background noise. Like if I'm at a loud bar, I have a hard time talking to people. And so being at that concert last night, I was with like 3 really good friends. And I couldn't talk. I couldn't hear anything. And I'm watching other people
just
fucking chat, not even looking at each other. You know, kind of talking where you're like,
you don't have to read
I'm
lips.
so fucking jealous. I'm like staring at people's mouths and leaning in. And I don't enjoy that.
Yeah.
What's the last concert you went to?
I was at the Life is Beautiful festival in Vegas. That was really fun. It was like Green Day and Modest Mouse, Ludacris. We had a great time.
Wow.
That's when I know hypnosis works, because I had gotten hypnotized to not smoke cigarettes. Like a couple months before. And I was at the concert. I was with my boyfriend. I was with some great friends. My agent was being amazing. My agent was like getting me waters. And so my agent was being like the greatest. We were on mushrooms. Like it was just the most fun time. I had like my agent literally going and get it. I had like he was being my servant. Like it was like incredible. I was like, this is the life.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends pulls out a pack of Camel Crushes, which, did you ever smoke one of those?
No.
Camel Crush it's half menthol, half regular. So you smoke it regular and then you can pop this thing in the filter. It goes and it cracks open and it becomes a mental.
It's good to see the cigarette industry staying on top
creative.
of things.
I mean,
creative.
it is like vapes don't have shit on that.
Really?
But so it's like having dinner and a dessert in one cigarette. They're the coolest cigarettes. They're my favorite cigarettes, especially when you're on mushrooms at a concert. My friend pulls them out, and I could not smoke one. Like, it just wasn't in my identity to smoke one. And I could understand loving them, but I just couldn't do it. I was like, wow, this shit fucking works.
Wow.
It was like the perfect scenario for just chain smoking.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't smoked a cigarette in a long fucking time.
Are you going to smoke because I just made it sound so good?
It did sound really good. Because I smoked for a lot of years.
I was just sit on my roof. My dad was like, I used to think it was so cute you were like out writing poetry on the roof. Because I had this like little roof outside the window of my room, but I was just smoking.
I had one of those roofs, and me and my friend Norman Dodge were sitting on the roof, and we were smoking a bowl. We were smoking some weed. And we were probably like 14 or something. And then he goes, and my next door neighbor was the town judge, and his name was Arthur Litt, and they called him Artie. And so he handed me the bowl, and then I reached for the lighter, and he goes, "It's Artie Litt," and I thought he meant it's Artie Litt.
And
I fucking I threw the bowl down into the gutter.
Probably hit Artie Litt in the head.
And he had smoke in his mouth, so he was like, "It's Artie Litt."
Oh, that's so funny. That's amazing. Holy shit. Is there a word that like would because with the name Annie, it's whenever in class people would say like, do you have Annie questions? And that would be when I started like paying attention, like thinking, oh fuck, I'm not. Did you ever have that? With Greg? Does Greg sound like anything?
When my father would say Gregory, that meant I was going to get a beating.
Yeah.
I have like a Pavlovian response to people calling me Gregory now.
And people think it's cute probably to call you Gregory.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Joe Rogan calls me Gregory because I told him that story, so he does it to this day.
Oh, that's mean.
Yeah, yeah.
That picture of you guys is so amazing that you posted where you were in your little short shorts. Were you in short shorts too, or just him?
He was in short shorts. I was in big balloony Joey Buttafuoco looking 80s pants. We were both probably 23 in that picture.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and he looked very different back then, didn't he? But his neck hadn't really thickened out. We used to hang out because he dated my roommate, so he basically lived in the same.
What was his name?
So we lived in the same apartment for like a year.
He dated your roommate? Was it a comic?
No, she was a bartender at one of the comedy clubs.
Rogan, I don't think would ever date comics.
I've never heard of him dating a comic.
Every time I've gone like said something about dating or anything, he goes, "Oh, it must be so hard. Like guys like hate funny girls." I'm like, Rogan, you find funny girls unattractive. I could show you my DMs. You're a small breed. He's always like, yeah, guys just hate that. I'm like, do they?
Yeah. He's gonna pull some people on stage. He's gonna roast them.
He's gonna fucking burn them up.
He's gonna burn.
Remember the burn?
Up.
He's gonna give them the burn.
Yeah, Mike Gibbons was the executive producer on that show.
I like Mike Gibbons. He's done a lot of really good things.
He's done a lot. He created Tosh.0.
Yeah.
He created David Spade's show, The Showbiz Show.
Oh, hilarious.
He did the Norm Sports Show.
Was so good, yep.
He did George Lopez's show.
He did, didn't he do Brody's thing too?
He did Brody's series. He produces Between Two Ferns with Zach.
Hilarious.
He's executive producer of The Roasts.
Yeah.
What else did
I want to do the roast.
Carlos Mencia. I got to throw that in.
I think you should put me on the roast.
Yeah, you should do the roast.
I'm the person.
All right, you roast me. You do this as a sample.
I think what I said about his hat was pretty good. I feel like I've already given the sample.
I think you roasted me last time I came on.
Yeah.
You said something about my saggy tits.
Didn't notice until you
They're
tweaked
not
them.
as saggy now because I've been working out.
Did I hurt you into doing it?
Yeah, completely. Because you weren't the only one that said it.
Well, I do feel like fat shaming is like. My dad used to like give me little jabs, and it kept me in line.
Were you a fat kid?
I was like a thicker kid at times.
Okay.
But not that big.
Yeah. And what would he say?
Oh, he had a really good one. This was when I was older, though. This was when I gained weight in college. And I went on a vacation. That was on a lake with them. And I was like diving into the lake. And I knew I was chubby. Like I knew. No one had said anything yet. But I'm like diving in and I'm midair. And he goes, "Look, guys, it's Annie Weight Gaines instead of Greg Louganis." It was so quick and so funny.
Really?
I was like crying. I got into the water and was like laughing.
Annie Weight Gaines?
Yes. as I was diving right up. My dad is the quickest.
That's good.
He's so funny.
I think that's a fair joke.
It was great. No, it doesn't hurt. If the joke's good, nothing hurts.
If the joke's good, it doesn't hurt.
When the joke's bad, you're like, fuck you.
There's nothing better than somebody, because having spent 10 years at the Comedy Cellar in New York with fucking Norton sitting at that table and Keith Robinson and DePaulo.
Yeah.
I mean, the shit they would say to me, if you want to know who you really are, don't go to a psychotherapist. Go to the fucking cellar and walk into the Olive Tree Cafe and see what they say about it.
I am so mad that I didn't get to meet Patrice and get a Patrice in.
Yeah, Jesus.
Because I think Patrice and I would have had I think it would have worked out. Jim always said that. Norton was always like, Patrice would have actually liked you. He would have given you shit. Patrice would have loved you.
Patrice would lean back. You'd walk in and he would lean back and cross his arms and he would scan, you know how a scanner goes across your body like this? He would scan you. And then he would finish and he'd go, Fitzsimmons. And you couldn't wait. You fucking couldn't wait for what he said because it was always honest.
Yeah.
It was never like the hacky, everybody says, oh, we can go send newspapers with your fucking.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that.
Rich Voss said that recently.
Yeah, he did. He did.
But it was bad. Yours was better. What did you say? Look, like he was booking.
I go, shouldn't you be fixing a high school football game right now?
The fact that he said high school is so good. That was a fun show. I liked how you quit in the middle.
I was so distracted with all of you guys sitting on stage.
But you should be. Why? You shouldn't be. No one should be looking at the back of you while you're on stage.
It was weird. It was a weird setup.
Have you ever done the show Supernova where it's like in a circle?
Yeah, I do that all the time.
I have to. Yeah, I just spin the entire time. I'm like, I'm not standing still here.
I love it. I love turning around because it kind of forces me to be more physical on stage because I'm not physical enough on stage. I just stand there.
Yeah.
You put your fucking foot on the front table and
have to dominate them.
Yeah, you do a dominatrix thing. But sometimes I'll look at a videotape and fast forward of me doing stand up and it's like, and I realized, Jesus Christ, Fitzsimmons, use your body. You got it. You got this body.
You got this hot bod.
Use it.
Those titties could have been flapping around. That would have been comedy back in the day. Oh, wow.
I've been working out at Gold's Gym. Where do you work out?
I have a gym in my apartment complex.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I thought you said in your apartment. I was like, wow, a gym. That's overstating it.
I will.
Some fucking weight bands.
No, I'll have my own gym.
A kettlebell.
Just wait. I'm going to the top.
Oh.
I've been in my
manifest it.
I'm going how big do I want to go? That's what I've been deciding.
Yeah?
Richer than Rogan.
Really?
Why not?
The important thing is, honestly, to keep your friendships and and to have a romance that works, and then the money doesn't really matter.
What'd you say?
Right. Did you check your stocks on your phone?
I did.
You got money in the bank at this point?
I got money. I'm doing good. But I have big plans. I got things I want to do.
You want to buy a house?
Yeah, I do want to buy a house.
In the hills of Burbank?
We don't know where we want to live. I want to just feel good when I go to visit a place and then decide where I buy a house.
I find it curious that people would live in Los Angeles and not live near the beach.
I don't want to leave Venice, honestly. Yeah. I really don't. I love Venice.
Yeah.
It's so fun here.
Are me, you, and what's her name going to hang, Jessimae Peluso, going to hang out at some point?
Why is 3 so hard?
It shouldn't be this difficult.
It's really crazy. But Jessimae is different because Jessimae will be you think she's around, and then she's booked a month in Greece or something.
She hosted some TV show or something.
But also she lives well, so she's just gone.
Yeah.
She'll just be on vacation. I'm oh.
I'm going to call her right now and let's get something
bitch
on the books. All right.
I know, it's fun. It's just the trash talk will be so good.
Oh, I did a movie that's going to Sundance.
Huh.
Wow.
That was a plant. What was the movie?
It's a Doug Stanhope movie.
Oh, I love Doug Stanhope.
Yeah, it's like a guy who's it's him. It's kind of based on his life, but he's a drunk.
He's friends with Johnny Depp. Should I try to call her when you're on the phone with her and see if she picks up?
What are you doing?
I'm sitting here with one of the triumvirate, Annie Lederman.
It's Lederman. I'm a natural leader. People get it wrong.
No one knows what. I'm a natural leader. No one knows how to say her last name.
No. we're doing my podcast right now, and we're talking about the fact that it's been impossible to get the three of us together. So I thought,
So successful.
let's get something on the books right now. All right, we're looking at next week is good for me, Wednesday or Thursday.
Thursday's great.
Let me
Thursday
check.
the 4th.
Let me check. The 4th?
Annie will inevitably text you at 2 a.m. and say she can't.
Yeah.
Or like 6 a.m. I go to bed late and I wake up early. It's never an appropriate time though. Or I'll just FaceTime you in the middle of the day.
All right, I'm going to put down the 4th. What do you think, Annie?
I'm just checking my schedule on my.
Gee, what
for
do
my
you have, a
podcast.
fucking day planner?
No, I honestly haven't put it in yet, and so it's in a text. So I have to go look through the text.
All right. Where are you now? Are you in L.A.?
No, I'm still in New York. My travel got delayed because I got COVID and it took me down hard.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you got it bad? I didn't even ask you, Jesse. I'm sorry when you texted me that. I just assumed you got the pussy kind.
Did you shit
No,
your pants?
I went down and
Jesse shits her
I
pants
was sick
regularly.
for like, I don't know, 15 days.
You sound kind of hot though. Your voice is like,
Yeah, it's very rough and kind of, you like almost sound like Annie Lederman.
oh,
Yeah,
these
I
are my
sound
dear
like Annie's
friends.
brother.
Oh, he has a higher voice. Jesse, I said the reason we can't get together is because you like live such a good life that every once in a while, like you think you're going to be in town, but then you're just like in Rome or somewhere or Greece.
Yeah.
You're just like doing something extravagant.
Well, don't do it. I got COVID in Spain. It's not worth it. Stay home.
Oh, you got that Spanish COVID.
Who did you go by yourself, Jesse? Who'd you go with?
Yeah, I went by myself, and I'm seeing this guy. I told you about this dude that
Right.
I've been seeing.
And he
was
lives
on
there?
set.
Oh, he was on set. Okay.
Nice. All right, so we'll see you on Thursday. Annie, you're in?
I'm in. What time are we doing?
Okay. I don't know.
What
Let's.
time we want to do?
You want to have? Should we have coffee at like?
Should we say where it is and see if your creeper fans show
noon.
up?
All right. Let's.
Can we do coffee early?
11 a.m. and
Before noon.
and we'll
This
go
bitch
to,
is so difficult.
We'll go to Zinc.
All right.
Perfect. 11 a.m. Zinc.
Okay.
I can't wait for everyone to cancel.
I can't wait for creeps to show up.
I can't wait for one of us to get canceled.
I'm going to be there by myself. Is what's
right.
going to happen.
No, let's do this. Let's do this. If anyone cancels,
How
they
much
have
money?
to pay $50 to each to the other two
Okay.
people.
Okay.
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 All right, good.
All right.
All right, we'll see you
We're
there.
going to pay for our group.
I feel like we should do bigger. We just start scamming each other. We make it impossible for one of the people to show up, so we make money.
Right. I call a producer friend of mine and tell him to set a meeting with Annie on Thursday at 11.
Oh, my God.
I would choose you guys over a meeting with a producer.
We'll find out.
This Boulevard. And I'm down like Doo-Doo Brown, kids.
All right, we'll see
feel
you there.
better.
Feel better.
Yeah, don't
All
have
right, love
COVID,
you
bitch.
both. Bye.
Love you.
Don't shit your pants. Bye.
Save it for Zinc.
All right, it's going to happen.
I love her. She's
She's
such
great.
a fun hang.
She's so funny. Anybody that puts a horse head on and a bikini and dances around in videos.
Oh, I know, and it's all for Alzheimer's awareness too. It's
Oh, I
like
didn't
for
know that.
Yes, yeah. She'll just put like post pictures of her ass and shit, and you're like, "What is this?" And that's like, and then it's like, "Go to the Alzheimer's thing." She's
Really?
like, "Gotcha." Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's like thirst traps with a cause.
Yeah, she showed up here dressed like a whore also for the podcast.
Yeah, well, Jessie May and I continuously will not get cast in things together because but we're different types of white. She's more of like a country white trash. I'm like a city white trash.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's different.
Yeah.
But she left Girl Code and then I got cast on Girl Code.
Oh.
And then we did a pilot on E together and they made me dye my hair brown, which I'm still so mad about. Like we didn't even have the same type of blonde hair. It's like they couldn't imagine a world. I'm wearing a very padded bra right now. I don't always wear a padded bra. Jessie, they can tell the difference. Jessie has huge tits. They're going to go the one with the tits and the one without the tits.
Right.
The one with the tits and the one with the shoulders.
Where'd you get the shoulders?
Swimming.
You were a swimmer.
I was a swimmer.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my daughter's a surfer and she's got the shoulders. And you
Surfing
keep them
is
for
so
life.
hard.
It's fucking hard.
Surfing is like so unpleasant to me.
Yeah, same with me.
And I feel like such a pussy because nobody else is. My eyes are burning in a way that is unlivable. I can't. If I ever go surfing, I want to be the person with the goggles.
Yeah. No, it's like you're face down on a board, your shoulders are aching, your neck hurts because you got to keep your neck up, and then a wave comes and fucking lands on you. You got to start all over again. I don't know. She's still surfing, but she did it. starting when she was in like 6th grade, and she'd go before school.
Oh, that's so cute.
In January, February,
it's so
she'd
cute
be
to be
out there.
dedicated to something like that.
Yeah, she was on the surf team in high school.
And what does your son do?
Soccer. He's a big soccer player. He was on the this club soccer team.
But it was traveling, right? So did you have to go a bunch of places?
And then he was on the varsity. He was captain of the varsity boys team, and he was captain of his club team, and they both went undefeated his senior year.
Hell yeah.
He was a fucking stud.
I know how to pick winners. Do you...
That's right. God damn it, if you weren't engaged, I would hook you guys up.
I'm pre-engaged.
Pre-engaged.
Did you get to go to a lot of his things, or were you on the road?
Oh no, I went to tons of them. Yeah,
Cool.
I'd work my schedule around, like if he had a big tournament or something, or like my kids ever had concerts or plays, I would always work my schedule around that.
Yeah, that's
and it worked
good.
out pretty good.
I think you can do it. I was thinking, because, I talk to Bonnie every day, and Bonnie's like...
She's executive producing TV
everything.
shows and shit.
Every time I talk to her, she sold a new show.
It's
We both do
unbelievable.
hypnosis, but it's so... it fucking works. So, it just changed my whole outlook on life. Like, I just changed what I feel like I deserve, what I want. Like, it's
Yeah.
just so cool.
I first met her. I was a writer on The Man Show when it was Doug,
and Stanhope,
and Joe. And they brought in Bonnie, and everybody was like, it was like a bunch of men's men writing on the show, and they were like, what the fuck is Bonnie? And she fucking killed it.
Oh, yeah.
She came in and she's so good.
She's so, like, if you don't like Bonnie, like, your ego is so fucking fragile.
Yeah.
Like, you have a problem.
Right.
She's so
Except
good.
she's Canadian.
But
That's
isn't it
annoying.
weird that she's fucking Canadian?
It doesn't make sense.
She doesn't have the kindness of or the politeness of a Canadian in any way.
No.
She has none of it. But she, we did these shows in Texas, and I literally cried after. It was so good.
Really?
I won't forget it. I won't forget the crowd work. It was so good. I'm so like honored. She's my friend. I love her. But
how'd you guys meet in New York?
Yeah, I met her. I think I hit her up on Twitter and was like, "Can I come like hang out with you at a show?" I just wanted to meet her. Yeah, when I first started, and then
you should teach a workshop on friendship, because I noticed that like you're the kind of person that, it could be Joe Rogan you're talking to, and then you'll turn around and you'll talk to the fucking waitress, like you know her just as well.
I like people.
You really are.
I genuinely like people.
Yeah, it comes through. It doesn't seem forced. Sometimes you see people do that and you go, like one person I'm thinking of in particular, I'll say off the air, and it's like they're showing you that they're talking to the waitress and that they talk to the parking lot attendant.
Oh yeah,
but you actually know things about them.
I'll be like, Neil, I'm busy. I'm talking to the waitress.
Right.
Brennan, not today.
That's the big name you went for, Neil Brennan?
I don't know. I just felt like shitting on him for a second. Is Neil okay?
I don't know.
I'm not very good friends with him.
How does Neil feel?
How does Neil feel?
How did Neil feel?
I fucking love Bianca. You told me that stuff about her, but
well, I didn't say anything about her. What are you talking about?
Not bad.
Oh. What did I say about Bianca?
I thought she was from a different continent.
Oh, right. You thought that she was black.
She is still black,
She's
though.
not black.
She's just the South American type. She's black. Look at her.
She's Middle Eastern.
She gets treated black. She's black.
She looks
She
black.
is a black woman.
I
think she's black.
Yeah.
I think it's like weird. She's in a weird category where she doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, 10 out of 10 people would look at her and say that's an African American person. But she's Middle Eastern and I think some South American. She's beautiful. She's stunning.
She is so pretty. She's so funny too. She really is.
She's really smart.
She is really. She's gotten she's got good burns. There was this guy. We were at Curtis. Do you remember Curtis Nelson? Who was
of course.
So he had this barbecue at his house over the pandemic, and
nice.
we were in like a. I know you should have been there. It was very fun. Too late. Now he's in Texas.
Yeah.
But we had like a whole little bubble. We had a little pandemic bubble. But Tony Hinchcliffe was there, and they had met these private jet pilots at the Comedy Store. And so they like invited these, it was just like this Irish guy and this older guy, Randy, who was like, he's just like, he looks like a cartoon character. He's like walking around, and Tony invites them. He's like, they're great, but obviously there's an incentive to get on a private jet.
Yeah.
So it's like Tony's not made a true connection with these people or want to talk to them at all. So he invites them to the party, and then one of them is just rogue. He's just walking around, like bumping into, looking at things, and he was wearing a hat like yours, and she kept calling him a Roomba. She's like, Tony, go talk to your friend. Look at him. He's a fucking Roomba. He was just like walking in a wall. It was like so funny. She's so funny. I have to go in a second.
All right, listen.
I want to do this with you every day. I'm sorry.
Let's do this more often, and I'm going to come do your podcast.
Yes, please.
I'm not saying
so
that
excited.
you invited me to. That's
no,
why
I
I'm
did.
saying
I want to.
But I also want to give you tour
studio.
dates. You're going to be in. This is too late for that date. You're going to be in Springfield, Missouri at the Blue Room Comedy Club, August 12th and 13th. Then you're going to be at the Homestead Pittsburgh Improv, September 9th through 10th. That's a fun room.
Yeah, I also am going to
La Jolla Comedy Club,
in La Jolla.
September 16th through 18th. Comedy Store. Tempe Improv, September 22nd through 24th. Calusa Casino in California,
Yeah, come
September
to the casino,
30th.
guys. That's going to be fun.
And then you're in Kansas City, Irvine, San Jose, Holland, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Dania Beach, Florida, all this fall. Go to Annie Lederman, that's ANNIELEDERMAN.com, and get your tickets.
Hell yeah. Thanks for doing that for me. That would have been so annoying if I had to do it.
Oh, God, no.
You really
can't.
took the load for me. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I take the load for a lot of people.
I know. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
On his back.
All right, I'll see you on Thursday. We'll have some coffee.
I know. I can't wait. I'm not going to show up. $100. That was so cheap.
we
That
said
is not
50.
enough money. But it's 100 together.
Oh, yeah. It cost you $100 to not show up.
Should have definitely made it more.
I know. I'm going to be there.
No, I'm going to be there. I'm going to make it happen.
We're going to have so much fun.
What if what if we all get in a fight? I can't imagine anything bad happening.
I can see you guys ganging up on me.
Inferiority complex. We see why it does comedy. Scared of women. No, you're not. Honestly, there are some, it is weird when, at this age that I am and being in this field for so long, I have always tried to deny, misogyny and sexism because it's,
Right.
not funny and boring to do
Yeah.
that. But there are some guys who are like, are you mad at your mom, that much? That you're still doing this? It does feel that way.
Yeah.
But it is you just like people. You're like me. You like people.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
We'll see you soon. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. So fun.
Bye.
Put me on the roast.